And good evening, everybody. Beth will be with me in just a second. But in the meantime, my little co-host here, come on, you got Mr. Vincent. But hope everybody's doing well. Long time no see. I know it's been about a month since our last little show here, and I also know that this is not our normal night. Obviously, it is Wednesday. We typically do this on Monday. But if you've been following us on social media, you know that we were doing a little bit of traveling. So we just got back into town late on Sunday. And let's just say that we, after being gone for a while and whatnot, we were not ready to hit live on Monday evening. So we pushed it back a couple of days, and here we are tonight. So with that, we got the Haunted Golden State, California. So we're going to be coming back. We're going to be checking off a couple more states here in the next couple of episodes, going ahead and doing our haunting tales from across the country. And I'm
here.
Yeah, here comes Beth. And real quick, a couple of things we got coming up. Of course, it is now mid to late September, so spooky season really is upon us. It's always spooky season for us, but prime spooky season, when the rest of the world gets with it, if you will, is basically here.
And it should be every single day.
Yes, it should be every single day, but October.
Okay.
October's here.
Swap. That's why I had you over here.
Well, then get up. I don't know what's going on.
It's called You Not Hitting My Arm.
Oh, okay. That got
I got jabbed today with my flu shot, and my arm is quite swollen, and I don't want him hitting it and me screaming at you guys because he hit it.
That would be unfortunate.
So, we're just reconfiguring, so I'm not going to scream.
Yep. So, of course, October, we got all kinds of spooky stuff coming up, where a variety of events, I can't even begin to really name them right now. We will be posting a lot about it on social media, so you're following us on social media right now. Keep following us on social media, and you'll see all the events that we got going on. In the meantime, other non-spooky events, we will be at St. Benedict's Oktoberfest this weekend for a little while on Friday and Saturday. Happy to be able to be a part of sponsoring that event again. And then the following Saturday, we are going to be doing a little bit of volunteering at Hanover Tavern for their Autumn Fest. Yes. So if you want to come and see us in person, you can pop in there on Saturday afternoon. We will be working on one of the tables at Autumn Fest, and all kinds of stuff going on.
And then the second and the 3rd of October, we're going to be doing mini history tours for the 100-year anniversary of the Churchill Train Tunnel. There's a starting at Richmond at 7. It is fun, first come, first serve. You're not going to be able to find tickets ahead of time for this, so you do need to show up in person to sign up to go ahead and do
And it's
that.
a pay what you wish.
Yeah.
So we already have the information about that posted on the Facebook page. So if you look at the events on our Facebook page, you'll find those on there for the 2nd and the 3rd.
Yeah.
And again, all kinds of other stuff coming up. But in the meantime, for tonight, we do have Haunted California. Now, it is going to be a little bit of an abbreviated episode. We just got...
Sorry, we have been gone for a while.
we've been gone, and so we're still playing catch up, and we're probably never gonna get caught up, or at least not until November. So,
what is being caught up? All right, so
I have no idea.
Yeah, so California, big state, a lot of things are haunted, so obviously we're not covering a huge section of it.
Now, that said, we
have covered a bit.
Quite a few little individual tales here and there on some other episodes. A lot more vignettes,
yeah.
Yes. So
we've done some national parks there already. We've done some of the cities already, hotels.
Yeah. So we got more for you tonight.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm blocking part of the screen with us.
It's okay. I'm watching you go, thinking about jumping up there, where the camera is.
As he does.
As he does.
Nico's thinking Nico things.
Yes, Mommy has new leggings on. Do you approve, sir?
No, he doesn't.
I'm sorry, they didn't have the cat ones in my size.
Yeah. So, Anyways, we are going to be starting off in a corner of California, Nevada City and Grass Valley. So this is definitely away from the major urban centers, if you will.
Yep,
nice little corner, but still has quite a bit of history to it.
Yes, and we were actually able to find one of the local guides and authors, Mark Lyon. He actually is the author of Haunted Nevada City and Grass Valley, and he also leads local ghost tours.
My booze.
Your booze is up there. Because I didn't know where you wanted it once you got the computer moved.
Thank you.
And by the way, it's apple cider season, so we have spiked cider tonight.
Ooh, that's good. No, Nico, it's not for you. So, anyways, Mark Lyon, first tale, he was leading a tour when two of the participants mentioned seeing a ghost at Nevada City's National Exchange Hotel. The specter had been spotted in the hotel's presidential suite, a room long rumored to be full of paranormal activity. They had been walking by the room's door, which contained a large glass panel covered by a curtain, when they saw a hand pull the curtain back. They said a woman appeared dressed in Victorian clothing with a high collar, and she had a stern, spooky look about her. Well intrigued, Lyon was about to point out the fact that people in this area dress up in costumes in Nevada City all the time. But before he could, the guest continued that they clearly saw her dematerialize before their eyes. Stories like this are common in these parts, and Lyon has recorded many of them in the books that he has published, and we just have a little taste of them here to start our evening in Haunted California.
It's enough to make me want to go visit.
Yeah, it seems like a charming and nicely spooky area.
Yes. Yes. So we're going to start at the Holbrook Hotel. This is located in the Sierra Nevada foothills, of course, in Grass Valley. It was built in 1852, first founded by the Golden Gate Saloon, a watering hole for gold seekers, gamblers, cowboys, madams, and, of course, the saloon added a hotel in the back by the next year. Stephen and Clara Smith were among the first to invest in this boomtown known today as Grass Valley. They built the Adams Express office and the Golden Gate Saloon, which sadly were destroyed by fire in 1855, along with most of Grass Valley. The Smiths rebuilt the popular saloon as a one-story fieldstone building with a brick facade, making it safer from another fire. The Golden Gate Saloon was the oldest and continuously operated saloon west of the Mississippi River. In 1862, a relative, Charles Smith, built the current structure and named it the Exchange Hotel. It was noted for its convenience to the local gold exchange. When the gold exchange closed, 18 ounces of pure gold were found in the carpeting.
It's a fair bit of gold.
That's a lot of gold dust. Like other local buildings that were constructed, the hotel was fortified against fire damage with heavy iron doors, and the roof was covered with a 12-inch layer of dirt and brick. In 1879, the hotel was purchased by Ellen and Daniel Holbrook and was given the current name. Daniel Holbrook passed away in 1884, but Ellen continued to manage and operate the hotel until 1908. In 1971, while working in a downtown Grass Valley beautification project for the business community, longtime resident Arletta Douglas inspected the neglected hotel, realized that the Holbrook Hotel was indeed a hidden treasure in the main street, and eagerly sought help from the local citizens to begin restoration. In 1982, hotel guest rooms were restored, and in 1983, the adjacent historic Purcell House was acquired, and 11 additional rooms were added there. It continues to be an important fixture in the community to this day, and the Holbrook Hotel, of course, has housed many famous residents, including Mark Twain, an infamous outlaw, Black Bart, and 4 U.S. presidents, Grover Cleveland, James Garfield, Ulysses S. Grant, and Benjamin Harrison. It also dubbed one of the most haunted hotels in the Sierras. Indeed, the hotel has plenty of history and enough weird occurrences to draw curiosity seekers from near and far. Aside from the chairs moving across the floor, the lights turning on and off, voices lingering in the air, guests report hearing the sounds of little ghost children jumping on an old mattress springs, as well as the sighting of notable cowboy ghost who appears from the waist up in Victorian and a Victorian-dressed maid who walks the halls. Sightings include, of course, Black Bart and a floral dress-wearing woman that are seen in and around the kitchen, and a creepy ghost kid in the hallway. Just because.
Ghost kids.
Ghost kids. In the past, Anthony Jones, a former general manager of the Holbrook, hosted Haunted by History tours every Halloween. Jones himself called himself a skeptic, but admits he experienced an unexplainable feeling in room number 15. When I walked in, it was a very odd sensation, like when you put your hands over your ears, that cupping and muffling sound that happened instantly. Jones added that the next day, a housekeeper had her cleaning interrupted by the room's door continually opening by itself. Security footage confirmed that nobody was around. You don't need to stay at the Holbrook to experience the paranormal activity. Grab a bite to eat at the Golden Gate Saloon, where the smoke-like clouds have been seen clustered around the ceiling, and wine glasses will start to violently shake on their own. The hotel's cellar bar, the Iron Door, patrons have reported seeing and hearing a female spirit in the woman's bathroom. Reputed to have been, of course, a brothel and a speakeasy, the Iron Door also has served as the town's morgue during the winter when the ground was too frozen to dig graves. Your turn.
Off you go. Okay. Moving to the community of Grassland, we first find the dark depths of the Empire Mine. With vertical drops of more than 1,000 feet, many miners were left wondering if they'd make it out alive. Some of that energy remains today at the Empire Mine State Historic Park, where you can tour the estate, gardens, mine yard, and even the entrance to an actual shaft. Over the years, visitors have heard miners' voices and the sound of equipment rumbling in the long-defunct mines, with one witness recounting a scene of 3 ghostly laborers talking together about how terrified they were to go back into the mines. Ghosts have been known to mill about Bourne Cottage, the summer home of former mine owner William Bourne Jr. Docents at the cottage have reported feeling a ghostly presence in the house, hearing creaky floorboards and feeling cold drafts out of nowhere with no explanation. And moving along the ground in Grassland, the St. Joseph's Cultural Center is a former convent and was the site of Northern California's only orphanage when it opened in 1866. It was originally known as Mount St. Mary's Academy and is rumored to be haunted by a few former residents. The dangerous mine conditions of the time left many children without parents, and within the first year of the orphanage opening, 70 kids were living there. By the late 1890s, it was housing over 400 orphans and 60 nuns who cared for them. Today, the property features the Grass Valley Museum, St. Joseph's Chapel Hall, artist studios, and a historic rose garden. Docents, artists, and visitors have all witnessed a ghostly little girl roaming around. Sometimes she appears to them looking to be 5 or 6 with long hair and dressed in a white nightgown. Other times, they only hear her sobs echoing through the brick buildings. She's been seen so frequently that an artist who rented one of the studios painted her portrait. A nun in an old-fashioned habit has also been reported to haunt the halls. Still, sticking to Grassland, another haunt is the Art Deco neon spire of Del Oro that has been a beacon in downtown Grass Valley since the theater opened in 1942. It still retains some of its original charm, including an ornate ceiling mural and Art Deco light fixtures, alongside its resident spirits. Some of the most commonly seen specters include a woman dressed in red, a young girl and a boy who run down the halls, a man wearing an old-fashioned hat and heavy overcoat, and a woman dressed in white, believed to have fallen or have been pushed from a fire escape. After documenting these ghosts for years, Mark Lyon had his own run-in during his walking tours. He was standing with his group outside in front of the ticket booth when handfuls of popcorn mysteriously rained from the sky, seemingly from the roof. A few days later, Lyon led another walking tour to the same spot when a stream of tiny, torn-up concession napkins gently fell on them like snow. 2 members of the group stated that they'd clearly seen a little girl standing at the edge of the roof laughing as the bits of paper floated down. Lyon confirmed that with the theater's manager that the door to the roof was locked, and this was not, in fact, some practical joke.
So definitely if you're over in the Grassland area, check out Mark Lyon, see if he's still running his tours, because I definitely will.
And hi, Beverly. Yes, it is a different night. We were originally going to try to go on Monday, but we were not ready to go on Monday. So we pushed it back up a couple of nights. Here we are, and, well, this should kind of sort of get us back on schedule as much as we can be on schedule with October right around the corner.
Yes. So now we're going to move over to Nevada City, and the National Exchange Hotel that is the oldest hotel west of the Mississippi. Since operating in 1856, this historic building has hosted an assortment of adventurous guests, some of who loved the energy so much they decided to hang around. When the National Exchange Hotel opened, Nevada City was already the largest and richest mining town in California. The palatial brick hotel hosted mine owners, businessmen, and, of course, U.S. President Herbert Hoover. It's believed that the first discussions that led to the formation of the Pacific Gas and Electric Company took place in 1898 in room 314. The entrepreneurs who met that fateful night might return as guests. One evening, one woman said she was staying in room 314 and awoke to find men attired in late 19th century clothing, consulting maps and conversing in an enthusiastic manner, and smoking cigars. One spirit has been cited so often that she's been given the name Elizabeth. She is rumored to have died from the mumps in room 411. Dressed in Victorian attire, Elizabeth is seen bouncing a ball, jumping a rope, and riding her tricycle up and down the halls. She's been reported throughout the hotel and the hotel restaurant, where she gives a couple a fright when she dove under their table while chasing her wall. There is talk of a less playful paranormal activity in room 48, where a murder allegedly took place. Guests have reported seeing flashes of bloody handprints on the bedding that evaporate upon closer inspection. Others have reported seeing a specter of a bedraggled woman with an eerie smile and a slashed neck sitting at the hotel bar. The aforementioned residential suite is now room 208 and 209 after the renovation. It has seen many a frightened hotel guest pack up their belongings in the middle of the night and flee. In his book, Lyon actually notes other unregistered guests, including a dapper Victorian-aged gentleman and the white lady who has been observed floating down the hallways and inside guest rooms wearing a long Victorian dress with a yellow sash. Her hair is up in an old-fashioned updo, and she reeks of cheap perfume.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I probably have a coughing fit. I'm very sensitive.
Also in Nevada City, we have the, aptly named Nevada Theater, which is California's oldest existing theater building. Opening in 1865, its stage has been graced by Mark Twain and Jack London. And today, the theater serves as the center of the arts community with year-round live performances and film screenings. Here, ghosts have frequently been mistaken for actors. In one encounter, there was a man dressed like an 1800s era cowboy who didn't cause any heads to turn until he floated through a row of theater seats.
That'll do it.
Yeah. An elderly couple dressed in Victorian attire have been seen sitting amongst the audience, and a Victorian woman was once caught backstage borrowing a prop in the middle of her performance.
That's a no-no.
Yeah, you don't do that. A ghostly woman has also been known to relax in the chairs on the landing leading up to the balcony, and a 30-something dark-haired, bearded Victorian gentleman in a black frock coat has been spotted standing near the front of the balcony. Sounds like all kinds of folks there are dying to go ahead and catch another show.
I mean, theaters are very popular places for ghosts.
Yes, as are apparently firehouses. Now, you might remember a while back, not too long ago, earlier this year, I think, in any case, we did like an entire episode about haunted firehouses and firehouse museums. Here we go again.
Yeah, there's a lot more out there, by the way.
So moving further through Nevada City, one of the most striking buildings is Firehouse Number 1, a white gingerbread Victorian structure with a large bell tower that attracts tourists as a place for a photo op to learn about local history, as it now houses the Nevada County Historical Society Museum. It's, again, also home to a number of spirits. Completed in 1861, the firehouse functioned as such for 80 years before turning into a museum. Docents and visitors have reported a large cast of ghostly characters haunting the museum, to the point that retired museum director Tony Smeaton noted that paranormal activity was everyday normalcy.
It's normal.
Here there is a woman with a mercurochrome red hair, dressed in Victorian garb, who has been spied from the street standing in the second floor window, and has also been seen playing the museum's vintage organ, rumored to be from one of Nevada City's many bordellos. There's also a pleasant little old lady who sits in an antique cane rocking chair, a woman in Victorian clothes who likes to rifle through museum cabinets, and a young boy with blonde hair who smells of bay rum cologne and talcum powder.
That's not a good combo.
No. Based on the wide variety of the activity here, it seems likely that many of the spirits hitched a ride in with some of the numerous museum artifacts, because a lot of them otherwise seem out of place in an old firehouse.
Yes.
So maybe hitching a ride there with the artifacts that are in the museum today. Now, if you want to take a deeper dive into some of the haunting tales from Nevada City and Grass Valley, do be sure to check out the book by Mark Lyon and perhaps some of his other literary offerings as well.
You can bet we will when we go there.
Yes. So, very accomplished author that covered quite a bit in that corner of California.
Yes. Now, as we said before, we have covered a few of the national parks here in California, because there's quite a few of them. So I tried to hit up some of the other ones that we did not cover yet.
Yeah, there's more haunted national parks.
Yes. Death Valley. This is one I went to when I was very young. You have never been, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So need to go back.
Yes.
So you can go. All right, so we're going to go to Death Valley. It's a strange place, not only for the extreme temperatures and vast expanses of desert, but also for some of the less explainable things that happen there too. For example, there are stones that move on their own. You can actually see videos of this. It's at the Racetrack Playa. It's a dry lake bed between Cottonwood and the Last Chance Ranges. The stones are large and small, and they slide across the valley floor, leaving trails in the sand. Scientists have researched the phenomenon for decades, and they have not been able to find a logical explanation. For several years ago, while using GPS and weather monitoring equipment, researchers developed a theory that a combination of ice, sunlight, rain, and high winds creates a scenario that the stones could feasibly be pushed across the firm but muddy surface of the former lake. Beyond that, the parks surrounding the area have had more of their share of ghost towns. One is Panamint. It was founded by outlaws who struck silver while hiding out from law enforcement. They gave up their criminal ways, they mined silver, and established the town. Though eventually was destroyed by a flash flood in 1876, ruins of some of the buildings and mines still stand in the hills. Another is Skidoo, where in 1908, Hooch Simpson was hanged twice. Not once, twice. Once for killing a banker, and the second time it was a staged event after he died so that the newspaper photographers could document it. By most accounts, Hooch was a fairly respectable businessman, but he was convicted of murder after shooting the popular banker and stealing $20. The second hanging, after that, the doctor cut Hooch's head off and apparently looked for signs of syphilis, which might have explained his erratic behavior. The headless ghost of Hooch Simpson supposedly still wanders the area that was once Skidoo at night. Others have reported ghostly activity at the old cemetery. Then there's the town of Tonopah, which was where the historic cemetery is filled with victims from a local fire in 1911 and from a pneumonia outbreak in 1905. Their graves are marked with weathered wooden tombstones, and some also claim to have encountered the ghost of George Devil Davis, who was the local saloon owner and a popular character around town. He was shot by his wife while playing craps. He still haunts the streets of Tupa and makes his presence known to visitors in mischievous ways.
Yeah. So, you're not going to shoot me for gambling, are you?
Considering I'm the one who was gambling on the trip, no.
Yeah, I know.
Although the funny thing is, he walks away from me and I all of a sudden start winning.
Yeah.
You should have walked away more often.
I should have walked away more often. Everything okay?
I'm just checking.
Everything okay?
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
You're just buzz.
We're just not. No, I'm not answering that right now.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, we are going to move to Sequoia National Park, and this area shows evidence of Native American settlement as early as 1000 A.D. Here, the native tribes lived, hunted, and traded for centuries, leaving evidence of their past through pictographs and stone mortars that they used for processing acorns, a key part of the native diet here.
And for those of you that don't know the place we're talking about, you have seen it. If you watch Return of the Jedi, it was what they were flying through and shooting with the Ewoks.
Yes.
Just saying.
So, the first European settler to homestead in the area was Hale Tharp, who built a home out of a hollowed-out fallen giant sequoia log in the giant forest next to Log Meadow. Tharp arrived in 1858 to the region and encountered several groups of Native Americans, the largest being around 600, with several other smaller groups found at higher elevations. After becoming friendly with the Western Mono tribe, Tharp was shown the giant forest sequoia grove. After his settlement, more settlers came around 1860. Shortly thereafter, between 1860 and 1863, epidemics of smallpox, measles, and scarlet fever killed the majority of the Native Americans living in the area. After this, the rest of the Native Americans left, with the largest campsite abandoned in 1865. After they left, Tharp and other settlers allowed sheep and cattle to graze the meadow, while at the same time maintaining respect for the grandeur of the forest, and led early battles against logging in the area. Tharp's log can still be visited today in its original location in the giant forest. On September 25th of 1890, President Benjamin Harrison signed legislation that established the Sequoia National Park, becoming the second national park ever established in the United States. A consequence of the giant forest becoming Sequoia National Park was a shift in park management. Prior to the incorporation of the National Park Service, the park was managed by U.S. Army troops of the 24th Regiment of Infantry and the 9th Regiment of Cavalry, better known as the Buffalo Soldiers. These troops, founded in 1866, were African American men from the South. The Buffalo Soldiers completed park infrastructure projects as well as park management duties, helping to shape the role of the modern-day park ranger. The Buffalo Soldiers rose to this position due to a lack of funding for the park, which led to an inability to hire civilians. Here they laid the groundwork for what would become the National Park Service and one of America's most renowned national parks. Sequoia National Park is a realm of ancient giants and profound stillness, with a number of haunting entities in residence. These include the boy at Crest Meadow, who is often seen wandering, lost, and searching for his family, who met a tragic end. The boy is said to have died after getting lost and succumbing to harsh wilderness conditions. There is also a miner that presents himself as a shadowy figure around the Mineral King Valley, his lantern flickering in the night. Then there is the missing girl, who is thought to be the lingering spirit of a young girl who went missing in the national park. She is often seen near the giant forest. One visitor to the park recalled a chilling encounter that he had with his family during a reunion trip to the park. There were about 20 of them in all, and they were waiting for a tram to go down the trail. They saw a blue tram full of people pull up and quickly started to get themselves situated so that they could jump on the tram together, none of them paying too much attention to the people that were already on the tram. A couple of them started working to open the tram gate at the stop, but then the blue tram suddenly accelerated and disappeared. The group was stunned to silence until one of them asked, "What were they wearing?" At that moment, they realized that the people on the tram were clad in clothing that would have been in fashion a century ago. They also realized that none of the people on the tram seemed to have taken any notice of the 20 people waiting for the tram off to the side. Chilled by the bizarre experience, the family decided to just simply make the hike down the trail instead. Once they arrived at the bottom, they asked an employee about the blue tram and were further stunned to find out that all of the trams are green. There should have been no blue trams on the trail. Many others have reported encounters with phantom hikers that are there one moment and gone the next, and hearing disembodied footsteps accompanying them on remote trails of Sequoia National Park. One thing is for certain, if you venture into the wilds, be sure that you never travel alone, lest the spirits be your only company.
Where do you want to go?
I don't know. We just got home.
We did.
I don't think Buddy Boy here would approve of us hitting the road again so soon.
And he doesn't like his harness.
No,
so
he doesn't.
Can't go exploring with us.
No. No, that would not go well.
Do we need a kitty backpack?
Oh, you want to bite me.
We're spicy.
We are spicy. All he just wants to cuddle. He does not really want to be pet. He just wants to cuddle.
He wants to sleep on the laps, and that is it.
Yeah.
Nico,
what are you doing?
Stop.
Trouble. All right. Another national park.
Lassen Volcanic National Park. This is in northeastern California. It's the dominant feature, of course, of the park is Lassen Peak. It's the largest plugged dome volcano in the world and the southernmost volcano in the Cascade Range. Somebody's got zoomies.
Yep.
Now, I just lost my spot. Lassen Volcano National Park is one of the few areas in the world where all four types of volcanoes can be found. Plugged dome, a shield, a cinder cone, and a stratovolcano. The surrounding area surrounding Lassen Peak are still active with boiling mud pots, fumarole rolls, and hot springs. The steamy hot springs and bubbling mud pots in this geothermal hotspot may seem spooky on their own, but this region of Lassen Volcano National Park has been known as hell after an unlucky explorer, Kendall Bumpus, fell into the pool of boiling hot water and lost one of his legs.
He's lucky that's all he lost.
Yeah. The area also contains one of the hottest fumaroles in the world, the Big Boiler. It's acidic, high-velocity steam as measured at temperatures up to 322 degrees Fahrenheit.
Toasty.
Yeah, you're closer to the weather in hell than any other national park attraction, by the way, with that one. For many, Lassen Volcano National Park is a beautiful outdoor destination in Northern California, free from crowds and full of hypothermal activity. For others, it's a hotbed of barbed, bizarre, paranormal activity with sightings and abductions dating all the way back to the 1970s.
Yes, abductions.
Because.
Okay.
The Volcanic National Park Cinder Cone is said to be haunted by the spirits of former hikers. The most famous ghost is that of a hiker who died on the cone, seen near the summit. For years, visitors have reported ghostly figures, angry voices, feeling cold spots under the sweltering sun, and Lassen is also said to be a hotbed for UFO activities. And this is possibly due to the volcanic activity. One couple that lived near the park, Clint and Jane Chapman, recalled the first time that they witnessed a UFO on December night of 1976. They were in their mobile home when they began to hear bizarre sounds outside. When they went out to investigate, a UFO appeared over them as they stared on helplessly. Then the craft just disappeared. That was the first of many such encounters that the Chapmans had over their years there. Eventually, they reached a breaking point. Fed up with their unearthly visitors, they concocted a plan to stick dynamite in the UFO's typical landing spot and blow it up. They never saw the craft again. Probably for the best.
Yeah. Don't need a couple of yahoos in rural California going ahead and starting an intergalactic war.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would not go.
Yeah. The activity may even extend into cryptids and direct alien contact. In the summer of 2015, a hiker named Sol Vasquez and his friend were in Lassen when Vasquez began hearing loud noises on the trail that he couldn't attribute to an animal, that his hiking companion couldn't hear. The noises were so loud that it actually brought him to his knees. This is something he had never heard before. Then out of seemingly nowhere, a reptilian humanoid appeared to Vasquez on the Lassen Trail with his hiking partner, once again, seeing or hearing nothing. Vasquez began running on the trail from the creature, with his friend chasing him in a very confused state. The creature was never seen again, but the experience was very shocking for Vasquez. He later stated about his experience, "I think Lassen Volcanic Park is malicious, that it has a will of its own. It's beautiful, it's nature, but it's got its own agenda."
Could these encounters have gone even further? In the spring of 1990, a 31-year-old San Francisco woman was hiking through the park when a disturbing memory dropped her to her knees. The hike through Lassen brought back a vivid memory of her time visiting the park as a child. She remembered being abducted by a UFO as a child, where she was brought aboard the craft as aliens performed experiments on her. During the painful experiment aboard the ship, the woman claims that the aliens uploaded information into her mind, including visions of her future. The incident was so traumatizing, the woman has since reached out to numerous UFO enthusiasts looking for answers. According to some UFO enthusiasts, all of these stories could be connected with the creatures using the volcanic activity in the park to shelter their activities. To others, it is all a wild conspiracy theory. On that point, aliens are not the only point of contention when it comes to conspiracies at Lassen Volcanic Park. In 1946, two friends were exploring the park when they discovered a large cave. As they descended into the cave with their flashlights, they began to notice the floor smoothing out, an odd occurrence in nature. Suddenly, three men appeared out of the darkness, illuminated by the light of their flashlights. The three men seemed determined to stop the hikers from going further into the cave, blocking further access. When one of the odd men asked, "Are you surface people?" the three odd men then escorted the hikers back to the mouth of the cave and told them to never come back. This story was told in the December 1946 issue of Amazing Stories magazine, outlining the bizarre encounter with the underground men in detail. Some believe this is an underground society. Others believe the cave may have been harboring secret military activity within the park. Then there is the legend of a hidden city called Telos in Mount Shasta, home to advanced beings from the lost continent of Lemura.
The legend grew from an offhanded mention of Lemura in the 1880s. In 1905, A Dweller on Two Planets by Frederick Spencer Oliver was published, which claimed that survivors from a sunken continent called Lemura were living in or on Mount Shasta. Oliver's Lemurians lived in a complex system of tunnels beneath with jeweled walls and fur-carpeted floors within the mountain, and occasionally were seen walking the surface dressed in white robes. Further legends speak of a British prospector named J.C. Brown who claimed to find the lost city in 1904. Brown had been hired by the Lord Cawdray, Mining Company of England to prospect for gold and discover a cave which sloped downward for 11 miles. In the cave, he claimed to have found an underground village filled with gold, shields, mummies, some being up to 10 feet tall. He told his story 30 years later to John C. Root, who proceeded to gather an exploration team in Stockton, California. About 80 people joined the team, but on the day the team was to set out, Brown did not show up. He was never heard from again. As for the local Klamath people, Mount Shasta is inhabited by the spirit chief Skell, who descended from heaven to the mountain summit. Skell fought with the spirit of the below world, Lael, and who resided at Mount Mazada, by throwing hot rocks and lava and probably representing the volcanic eruptions at both mountains. No matter the truth of Lassen Volcanic National Park, it's sure to inspire myths and lore for future generations to come.
Sounds like a fascinating place.
Yes, I want to go see it.
Just without the alien abductions.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, don't need that.
No alien. Nope, don't need to do it.
So now we are going to turn our attention for one last story for this evening to San Jose. And here we have the Westin San Jose, housed in the historic St. Clair Hotel. It is a 6-story landmark hotel in downtown San Jose, built in 1926, and it is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The St. Clair was designed by the prominent San Francisco architectural firm of Weeks and Day, featuring a flurry of Renaissance revival detailing with influences from Italian, French, and Spanish architecture. Today, the hotel lobby remains the most original interior space, with other spaces having been covered over or modernized, unfortunately. Still, an air of history does hang over the hotel when you pass through its doors and down its hallways. For years, the Hotel St. Clair enjoyed the status of being the premier grand hotel in the entire South Peninsula region, and the reputation of having the most elegant accommodations between San Francisco and Los Angeles. One of the oldest hotels in San Jose, the St. Clair is well known for its resident ghost, the Jilted Bride. As the story goes, back in the 1930s, a woman named Julia was preparing to be married in the hotel's palm room, but her husband-to-be never showed up. Distraught at the idea of being left at the altar, Julia tearfully fled down to the basement where she ended her life. Today, guests report hearing Julia's high heels as she quickly runs from the palm room to the basement. This is particularly jarring sound for many, as all of the floors in the St. Clair have now been carpeted for years. So, if you do go to the St. Clair, keep an ear open for the clickety-clack of old steel or old shoes on hard floors where
that no longer exist.
But with that, ladies and gentlemen, again, there's a little bit of an abbreviated episode this evening.
Yeah.
But appreciate you going ahead and watching, joining us for some spooky stories for a little bit. We will be back. Now it's actually just under 2 weeks. We plan to be back at the end of the month, final Monday of the month, with Haunted Nebraska.
Yes.
So, going to have a few stories from the center of the country here. But again, appreciate you coming on out and tuning in and joining us this evening. Hope that you can come on out and join us on
a tour or an event or something along those lines. Apparently, Chris and I are having a major case of hiccups tonight.
Apparently, we should not drink boozy cider. I think that's got to be what it is.
Yeah, since we're both affected.
Yep. So, anyways.
But it tastes so good.
It does taste very good, but it does not go very well with us apparently trying to talk after we drink it. So,
noted.
Regardless.
Boozy cider with fire pit. Got it.
Yep. But yeah, come on out, join us on a tour, come see us at one of the events that we got coming up. And again, appreciate y'all tuning in this evening. And with that,
we'll say goodnight and we'll see you all soon.
Stay spooky, y'all. Night night.